All right, so this is a quick little tutorial for Shane Bogard, and it's on this combo that I did on one of my shorts that kind of blew up. And all the combo is here, let me get into position for it. So you start off on the bite handle, and the combo altogether is a roll here, a roll here, roll here, behind the 8-ball, the whole thing into this aerial, and then it's the fan into a choker fan, into that over the top roll, and then that right there, that little finish off. And I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Let me double check. Actually, you'll probably see a cut here. I had to double check, but yeah, that's it. That's the combo. And so we'll kind of break it down and just go into like what all parts make it, all of this and all that. And then kind of like we talk about the flow a little bit about it, and we can kind of go into that if you guys want to. So all right, so first things first, you start on the bite handle because you're going to do a rollover, and it kind of just, for all the sake of everything that happens in the trick, it's going to be better. So you start on the bite handle, and you're just going to do a roll over the thumb, pretty standard. I would recommend that, like, if you don't know like all those tricks that I just did in the intro, you probably need to like watch some tutorials, because I'll go into it a little bit, like little tips and tricks, but I'm not going to have like the full thing like right here, right now, just telling you the whole how to do every trick. So like I said, start on the bite handle, you roll over. And also, this is how you can have a little bit of flair. If you're holding it like this and you're on the save handle, you can actually just put your thumb and your pointer finger on this right here and do this little thing, and that'll get you into position. So kind of like that, you just hold these two and see how it just kind of like rotates in your hand, and you just let it spin around like that, and then you can roll it. But anyways, so that's the first one, roll over the thumb. You're gonna catch it with just these 3 fingers. So instead of catching it like with all 4 and flicking up like that, how a lot of people do the trick, it looks like that. Also, sorry about all the noise. This street gets busy for some reason, and I don't know why. But so you roll it over, you catch it with these 3 fingers, and what you're gonna do is let this handle kind of come around, and you're gonna let it drop, and you kind of loosen your grip to where it kind of falls a little. And from that point, what you're gonna wanna do is you have this finger up already, and you're gonna roll it over this finger. And this one is kind of like one of the harder parts of this whole combo, just getting the cadence of those 2 down together. But one thing is that they kind of like, you can kind of like do this infinitely. So if you just wanna like drill it and just practice it, you can, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, so yeah, that one roll here, when you have these 3 fingers here, you don't put this finger here because you're gonna have it up for that roll. And what I like to do is I like to have it roll probably at about this point right here on the finger. I don't like it rolling here. I don't like it rolling too high. Right here, kind of in line with that little line on your finger. And I like to lean my wrist back when I do it so that it can roll almost like a flat tabletop, because rolling it like this, like straight up and down like this, is a little bit harder than rolling it. Oh, wow, I would contradict myself in such a way, but it's a little bit harder than rolling it like straight back. So for that reason, obviously I just totally counteracted what I was trying to say, but just take my word for it. You're gonna wanna roll it like that. So now here's the part where it gets kind of a little bit tricky. And so these 2 are just standard tricks that you would just know, you know what I'm saying? Like here, you just know that, here, you just know that. But here's where it gets weird. So you're gonna, at this point, you should be on the bite handle, and you're gonna do another thumb roll like how you started, but you're gonna roll it, and here's where it gets weird. So this is where you would catch it, right? Like let's say you flick it out, and this is where you would end up if you just had your hand closed. What you're gonna do is loosen your grip and let it fall. See that? And then you're gonna wanna like flick it out, like if you're gonna do the open, but don't have these fingers here. You're gonna point your pointer finger out, let it fall again, and then here your finger is here ready for this. So altogether what that'll look like is like this. Okay? And what I'll do is I'm gonna upload a slow motion, because I can explain the motion to you all I want, but it's not really going to click for you unless you kind of see it in person, and then you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a slow-mo up, and there's going to be a cut right here, and I'll put it up right here. So yeah, there you saw it, and it was kind of like I was going into the next step, but just so that you can kind of see how it all kind of flows into one another. But yeah, so I actually do end up using all 4 fingers when I roll it over. So I roll it over, you catch it here, let this fall, bring it around, bring this finger out, and then you're gonna start behind the 8 ball. And so behind the 8 ball, you should already know how to do it. If not, I have a tutorial that's up on my channel, and you can see it from there, and I'll put that up, but it looks like this. Whoa, well, sorry, I keep hitting my sleeve on this jacket, but it should look like that. And so, and I also have a tutorial up on the actual catch for the behind the 8 ball, so I'll try to link that in the description as well. So let's do it real quick. So like I said, first let's review what we have so far, because we're about a little over halfway through on it. So roll here, roll here, roll here, here, that little move behind the 8 ball. And after this behind the 8 ball, you're going to do a behind the 8 ball into an aerial. And the aerial is, I'm going to go over it here, but the best way if you want to learn it is going to be on the video that I'll link in the description below, and it'll just say behind the 8 ball aerial. So it'll look like this. Here, here, and then there's the aerial, right? So it's just here. And then, so when you get to finish off the final behind the 8 ball roll, it'll go like that. And usually you just do this, like usually you just finish off with that wrist pass and catch it here, right? But with this one, what you're gonna do is when the wrist pass is coming, right as it would kind of come in, but it's just at this point, it hasn't gone here yet. So it'll be like right here, right there. You're gonna toss it up and you're gonna let go with your hand, but it's not a flick, because there's 2 types. So like if you're gonna do the behind the 8 ball into this catch, then yeah, you flick it. But if you're going to do behind the 8 ball into this catch, you don't flick it. And that's the one that you're going to be doing. So you're not going to flick it. It's just literally just letting it come around and throwing it up, and see how it kind of slows down for you. And that's what you want. So that's all it is behind the 8 ball into that aerial. And when you get that aerial, this is the same type of motion that we did earlier, where we did that little here, except it's just letting it come back around for a fan. And the way that this one works is it's kind of similar to the endless fan. Like you can fan, come down, fan, come down, fan. See that? See how you can do that endless fan? And I actually have a video up where I talk about how to do the endless fan. I might link that one, I might not, but you'll be able to find it if you just look up endless fan or whatever on my channel. And that's the same type of motion that you're doing. So it's just behind the 8 ball into that aerial, and when you catch it, you're going to catch it like this. You're going to let it fall, come back down, and then here, and that's where you fan it. And so for the fan into the choker fan, which is what's next, this is kind of a long combo as I'm noticing, but but that's all right. So fan, and then when you fan into choker fan, you always want to finish off where you have the blade pointing towards you and the handle pointing outward like this, because if you finish off like this, you won't be able to roll it out, versus if you finish off like this, there it goes. So like I'll do the same exact motion with my fingers, and you land with the blade, okay, you land with the handle, right? So you always want to go fan and then let it drop. See that? See how the handle's pointing outward, and then you choker fan. So it's all about just timing that fan into the right spot. And what I like to do is I'll hit a fan and then let it slow down. You know what I'm saying? That was a bad one. Let it slow down and then do it. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so once you get the choker fan into fan, because like I said, this comes off of that behind the 8 ball catch. So you get there, here, fan, choker fan. Okay, that choker fan is probably, I'm gonna say learning this becomes the weirdest part of the trick. Not the hardest, but the weirdest. So the fingers that are going to be gripping it towards the end of the choker fan, if you've done the choker fan, are always these 2 fingers right here. It's not the pinky or the pointer, it's the ones in between, your middle and your ring. And every time you roll out a choker fan, you always finish there. It's just, if you know the choker fan, you know that that's where you roll off. So usually you just roll out a few choker fans to get the feel for it, and just get in this position and just feel it, and just finish up and down, kind of see how I'm like up and down. And all you're gonna do once you get to this position is with this finger right here, with your ring finger, you're gonna push down. And with this other finger, your middle finger, you're gonna kind of like push up, and then you're gonna twist with your wrist. And that's what makes this little motion right here. It looks like that. See that? And you can kind of just do that over and over again if you want to get the feel for it. So you just do that, roll it out, and then what you're gonna do is once this rolls out, you're going to take over. Sorry, I had some technical difficulties. But yeah, so like I was saying, that choker fan, you want to roll it out right here, bring it around, and then you're going to get to this point right here. So you get to that point where you roll it out and you come around, right? You get to this point here. What you want to do is you want to take over with this pointer finger. So now you're going to let go with this ring finger and come in with the pointer finger. So you should end up in this position where it's two fingers pointing this way. And this is another one of those tricks where I'll put up a slow motion of it. So here, now you come under, see how you go over the top. Now turn your wrist over and take over with this finger, your pointer finger. So let me try to do it as slow as possible so you can see. It's kind of hard because I don't have the grip for it with this knife, but see, like that, and then like that, and then look what position you're in. So now it's in between these two fingers. You should know because you'll end up in this position. And all you want to do is now let these other three fingers grab it. And this pointer finger can stay here or it can move to the back. Preferably it would be in the back. You can move it. So bring that to the back. And all you want to do is kind of turn your arm like you're going to do a backhand fan and then just spin it around. So that move, it would just look like this. And kind of if you want to like zoom out a little bit and just kind of look at my arm as I'm doing it. So it's like this. It's like I'm kind of like getting my elbow in it a little bit like that. So it's like you roll it out, bring it around here, come around here. See, and that's the full thing. And I have a video up on that, and I'll go ahead and link that as well, and I'll put this up in slow motion. But that's pretty much the full thing. And so last time, I'm just gonna go over all the steps. Very long combo. It's funny because it's like 10 seconds long, but all the moves that are in it, it's pretty long to teach them all. So, okay, so thumb roll, right? Let it fall, come around, this finger's up, roll around that index finger, another thumb roll, we're gonna catch it and we're gonna let it fall, bring it around, this finger comes in, we go into behind the 8-ball. Remember, it comes around, we bring it up, so we toss it up for that aerial. So here, catch that other handle, let it fall, bring it around, fan, and then choker fan, rotate around here, right? Rotate with these two fingers, come over with this finger, let it fall, catch it with these fingers, spin around, and here. So yeah, guys, that's the full combo. I'm sorry if this was not really that easy for you to understand. I try my best, but some of these tricks are like a little more of like dynamic type tricks, so it's a little difficult to teach. If you still have questions about any specific part, let me know and I'll try to record a video. But yeah, hopefully it helped you guys out. So just let me know how I did, and I'll put the slow motions and everything in there, and all the links that will help you will be down in the description. All right, rock on.